cats.
Aww.
You know them, the internet loves them. With how popular the little critters were, I was curious about two things. 1, are there a lot of cat games in the Switch library? 2, were they any good? I wanted to try to find 5 of them that not only looked different, but looked like they had a chance of being good. It was actually more difficult than I thought it would be to find 5 decent looking games on the Switch library, as not only were there not that many games to begin with, but a lot of them seemed to be, well, not too good. However, let's not delay any further and get started. First off, we got Kitty Maestro, which I went into it completely blind, so I thought it would be a rhythm game, but I couldn't be any more off. It's more like an arcade-style game where you have to go around a level to get enough notes for your big concert, which you can do by either collecting these notes, throwing these notes into these things, or meowing into these things, all while you have to avoid the enemies around the level. This is a fun idea, and visually it looks nice. I didn't realize that you had to read the manual first before going into the game, so I was super confused initially, but that was my fault. Once I did brush up on what to do, it still wasn't super fun. Unfortunately, I came across a lot of problems with how it actually controlled, as I kept getting stuck on invisible walls or KO'd by enemies that didn't even touch me. And the invisible walls were never consistent either. Sometimes I could go in a certain direction, other times I couldn't, and sometimes it would even block me from getting away from hazards. And I don't know if it was just because I did not have fun during the levels, but I honestly just found the sound design obnoxious. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. And the concert was really not worth the trouble. Needless to say, I won't be playing this on Switch again. 1 out of 5 meows. Next up, we got Catcomb Cats. This is a bite-sized RPG game where each round can last you maybe a couple hours. You choose from 6 classes of kitties. Then you're told that in order to beat the game and save the world from evil, you need to find a magic item, find a magic key to open the final dungeon, and then defeat the final boss. Then you're just plopped right in the middle of the map. You can fight enemies in the overworld and in dungeons. Defeating enemies, of course, will give you experience points to level up and monies that you can spend at shops or inns. Inns help you recover both health and mana, and of course you can get items that restore MP and HP at the shops. Being a cat and all, you do get 9 lives. However, if you die too many times and lose your 9th life, it's game over. Once you do beat the game, you do get some silly stats for your cat with things like how many NPCs you talk to, how many dungeons you visited, and so on and so forth. Of course, the main part of the game is going down into dungeons to collect treasure and find the magic items to beat the boss. The art style is simple but very cute, and I love the creativity of the enemies. There's anything from vacuums to mummified dogs in here, and since each round is short, you could probably play a couple games of it before getting burnt out. The only thing is that it is grindy. You'll have to do a lot of grinding before you go down into the dungeons so you don't actually die within 0.5 seconds, as the ones that are below ground pack quite the punch. I do also wish that there was maybe a bit of variety in locations and a few more interesting NPCs, as the only locations in the game are the overworld, towns, hospitals, and dungeons, and I lost interest in talking to NPCs after a while. However, this is still a fun game and not a bad deal at $5.99. And if you don't want to dedicate hours and hours to a larger RPG game, this should be able to scratch that adventuring itch for you just fine. Next up is A Street Cat's Tale, and let me just say, this game is depressing, man. You play as a kitten whose mother gets hit by a car. Great start. Don't worry though, your mother is alive, but some humans take her away and leave you behind, wanting to make sure your mother gets stabilized before trying to chase after you. This means that you will have to survive on your own until you reach adulthood. Of course, you need to eat, which you can get food by either stealing from markets, begging from humans, or scavenging from the trash. You also need to avoid cars that are driving on the road, as apparently everyone in this world is a jerk. There's also some NPCs that you can befriend. There's a couple humans, a dog, an elderly cat, a tough street cat, and a couple young twins to name a few. And when it comes to humans, you can't really see their face or understand them at first, but the more you raise your affection level with them, the better you can understand them or see their face. You can also upgrade your house if you get this one cat certain supplies for the next upgrade. Once you get to adulthood, you get a different ending. For me, I got the solitude ending because of course the game wanted me to be sad. Oh yeah, Kaylee, look at this kitten that's cold and hungry and alone because you messed up. Okay, in all seriousness, there are 11 endings you can get, so theoretically, you could play this game at least 11 times, with each run being about an hour. Considering the price, that's not a bad amount of gameplay. But is it interesting enough to play that many times? I could see myself playing it maybe at least one more time in order to get a good ending, but I don't know if I'll play it much more than that. It's a bit tedious walking around and doing fetch quests, especially since you can only carry one item at a time, so you can't prepare ahead for food, grab items for multiple quests, or grab more than one item that you need to upgrade your house. I think if we were given a better inventory system, them, it will be a much better experience. Otherwise, it does have a cute art style, interesting concept, and some good characters. If you're looking for something you could play for a couple hours, or you don't mind the repetition or tediousness, go ahead and pick it up. However, if the inventory thing is an issue, I say pass on it. Next up is Cattails, which if you grew up with the Warrior Cats books, that's basically what this game is, but combined with a bit of Stardew Valley. You play as a cat that's been abandoned, and you can join one of the cat tribes in the forest. Once you choose a tribe, you have to hunt for yourself, socialize with your fellow clanmates, and defend your territory. You can also complete bundles that are like the community center in Stardew Valley. There are also festivals, and you can romance a cat even. The skills are difficult to master at first, especially hunting. However, the more experience you get, the more you can level up certain skills, which will make your travels a lot easier. You can also earn monies from either defeating enemy cats in battle or by selling things you find to your shopkeeper, though be careful when exploring too far or being too reckless in battle. While you can come back if you die, you do lose a lot of your items. However, if you ever liked Warrior Cats or any of the games out of the life simulation genre, I do recommend picking this one up. There are a lot of areas to explore, the gathering bundles seem like they should take up a decent amount of time, and of course there's the side things like festivals, socializing, and exploration. I say it's worth a try. Next up is Cat Cafe Manager. In this one, you're trying to get a cat cafe off the ground, which you need to do by expanding the building, your menu, and getting more cats in. There's a wide range of stray cats you can lure into your building and try to befriend, everything from normal cats to raccoons to robots. And in this game, instead of just focusing on money, you have to get resources from a few different groups of customers. And all of these resources are important in order to get food, new furniture, or to expand your cafe. And of course, you can fine-tune your marketing to only target a certain group of people if you really need a certain type of resource. There's also special NPCs called regulars that you can invite to your cafe, and you can get special dialogue options from them. All the regulars are great, and I really enjoyed all the conversations with them. There's also a cat shrine area thingamajig that you can use to unlock new furniture items, recipes, and slots for cats in your cafe. And in order to complete projects, you need affection points, which you can get by giving customers a good experience at your cafe. For building, you can do just about whatever you want for the cafe, and there are all kinds of themed furniture you can use to decorate, from pub to fantasy to a fancy tea room set. Cat Cafe Manager is super fun and addicting. If you love cats and you're looking for a cafe management game like this, I highly recommend getting it. And those are 5 of the cat-themed games I could find on the Switch. If you're a fan of those fuzzy little felines, hopefully you've found one game that at least you want to try. Have you played any of these games before, or did any of them catch your interest? Be sure to give your thoughts in the comments down below. If you want to see more content from me, be sure to click on that subscribe button and notification bell down below. Until next time, this is Dance Macabre, signing off. Bye!